I'm going to add 7 to each of these things. So this is, remember, anytime we put a formula in Excel, we want to make sure we use an equal sign to start with, because that just says, oh, you're going to do some math now. You know how usually we put A plus B equals? Well, here we have equals A plus B, you know, types of things. And I can type in the numbers, but I really suggest not doing that if you can avoid it. You're better off choosing the cell, and instead of typing the cell, just click into it. As soon as I have the equal sign, if I click in to a cell, it starts to give the dancing ants. That's what I remember when I first learned Excel, and Excel hadn't been invented yet. When I first came here and we had Excel, somebody called it the dancing ants, and I was like, yeah, I can see that. It looks like dancing ants. So it puts up it highlights it and marquees it, and then I put plus, and I can say plus 7 because that's all I was going to do. And this little check mark does equal sound. Now the fill down will also, if I double click on that button, will fill down the information saying, okay, well, where does it stop? It stops here, so I want to make sure I do that. And as soon as I hit enter, as soon as I went to the next thing, it stopped at the dancing ants, or I could hit escape if that wasn't the one I wanted.
I once heard in the training that you want to escape from dancing ants, so the escape button.
We also want to escape from the dancing videos, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if you're wondering how I got this quickly, Control-tilde will show you all of your formulas on an Excel spreadsheet if you hit it at the same time. And notice here this one says C2 plus 7, and then C3 plus 7, and C4 plus 7. So it copied that information down. That's what it means by a relative cell. It says, okay, there's no dollar signs, which I'm going to show you in a second, is the absolute, what they use for they just picked it, I don't know why. But so it says, okay, keep filling that down, and that's what we want to continue to do. If I had instead done this with the F4 button, and F4 will put in these dollar signs. This is what says lock this piece down. This is the information that I don't want to change, and it will cycle through. I can, do just, if I have the dollar signs of both, it will say no matter which direction I move, don't change it. Here this says only change the column value. This one has only changed the row value. And this one says don't change anything. So if I made a mistake, I can just keep going back. But I'd say I want to keep this the same. And now if I fill through, it will say, okay, well, this is always going to stay C2 plus 7. So it will always keep that value of 100 and add 7 to it. And so that's what an absolute cell is. And so it doesn't matter if I went to the right as well. It will also say add C2 plus 7, because that's what was in there to do. Okay. Exactly. If I change C2, everything in the form, everything in your my pieces would change. So because it's active, it says, okay, this value is going to continuously be changed. And this also holds true if you have a graph. If you make a graph from this data, if I change these numbers, the graph will automatically change because it looks at the cell references versus the numbers that are built into it. And says, okay, so that's why using cells is a far more useful tool than typing the numbers and then typing the numbers again and saying just if you copy one cell, then if you change it, everywhere that cell is being used gets changed.